sure what it is, but I think it's some kind of native sedge. I'll have to find out what it is. I like it. I think it's a pretty grass. I got some pretty violets growing around it, native violets. And this is, I think it's white. Oh my, it's a flower. It's white, it's native. Back there I planted some milkweed and verbena and let's see. I don't remember what that is. Hold on. It's not one of my favorites, but it might turn out to be one of my favorites. Royal catchfly. Royal catchfly. And in here somewhere I've got some butterfly weed. And over here I've got, is it coneflower? And there I have blazing star. And there I have dropseed. What is this? Let's see. Showy coneflower. And then right here is royal catchfly. And somewhere in here, I don't know exactly where, if it didn't die, milkweed. Hopefully it makes it. I have yet to see any signs of milkweed, however, I have had very little experience with milkweed, so we're gonna see how it goes. And on here we have Virgin's bower. So probably in a week or two, you will not be able to see that mailbox. It'll just look like a big giant bush. It cracks me up. Everybody's always like, where's your mailbox? Like, it's underneath that bush. So, and it has these beautiful white showy flowers that the butterflies and the bees absolutely love. And the insects. And the caterpillars. And then, I think that's verbena. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Or vinegar. Something like that. That's pink blooms. And then there's, I don't even know what I planted here. But it looks pretty. This is my first little attempt at a garden. But, okay, so that's the mailbox part. Of course, here's the view from the house. I mean, from the driveway. All right. So this is the beginning of the driveway. I planted right there a purple lovegrass, I think it's called. I don't know. I think you're supposed to plant them in bunches, but I don't know if I could do a good job or not, so I just put it somewhere where I thought it would do well. And that way, if I kill it, I only kill one. And if it does well, I'll plant 5 more. And then we have here, this is called, I think it's called triple vine, or triple something, but it's a vine. It's native. And it grows pretty wildly, but it is deciduous, so in the winter the leaves go away. I have a batch of elderberry here. There is a red oak tree, and that is some kind of hickory tree, and that is a sugar maple, which I will probably cut them out. We'll see. We'll see how big they get. Let's see. Oh, here we got another oak tree. Another sugar maple. I'll probably cut those out. Mayapple. So now we're going up the walkway to the house. We gotta pave this. I want cobblestone. I think cobblestone would be great, but I think it's gonna take a lot of work. I want to do it myself. My husband is a little intimidated by it, but I think we can do it. This right here is Philadelphia fleabane. I know it looks raggedy, doesn't it? But when it's fully open, it's beautiful. And of course, everybody knows dandelion. I don't pull the dandelion, I leave it for several reasons. 1, fixes nitrogen in your soil. 2, it's edible. 3, if I pull it, something wild and invasive will probably grow there. So I let it grow. I live in a neighborhood that they don't seem to mind. As a matter of fact, they're watching me to see how things are going to turn out. I have a sign up that says wildlife. It's from the National Wildlife Federation, and it says this is a wildlife area and to not cut the grass. And I had the county put signs up to tell them not to cut the grass. And you know how the county comes by every year and cuts the grass on the edges of the road. Okay, here we have something really special. This right here is a serviceberry. I think I planted it last spring. Serviceberries are a forgotten, beautiful, small tree, understory tree. They make a beautiful berry that the birds love. The insects love these trees. And you can eat these berries. These are very, so I'm excited about the serviceberry. I planted 3 of them, I think. I know I planted 2 of them for sure because I'll show you the other one in a second. This right here is a grapevine. And I don't mind having grapevines, but I got to figure out how to get them on a trellis. I don't know how to do that. This is, I think it's a false sunflower. I think this is some kind of native grass. I want to say big blue stem. I'm not 100%. I'm waiting to find out before I pull it because I found myself pulling things a little bit too quickly. So I got to kind of let things grow to figure out what it is sometimes. I got a lot of Virginia creeper everywhere, which seems to be very happy here. It's also deciduous, so in the winter the leaves, there's no leaves. I've got triple vine right next to it, and poison ivy. I cut the poison ivy out. I figure if I keep cutting it, it'll get tired trying to grow. I do have some weeds in here. It's hard to keep the weeds out when you got, you know, the natives are a little bit more wild looking, so it's hard to see the weeds. This right here is, right there, that is plantain pussy toes. So supposedly it does well in sun and on dry areas, although this is probably the sunniest dry area in the yard, but still I don't get full sun really anywhere on this yard. I get partial sun almost everywhere, but still I tried it because I need some kind of ground cover. So what I'm doing is I'm hoping this will take off so I can start cutting some of this other stuff out, like the dandelions and the Philadelphia fleabane. This is a sticky icky. I don't think it's native. I don't think that's what it's really called, but you can eat these and they go away. They're not invasive really. So I don't mind them. They don't bother me. Sleeping magnolia that I planted underneath. I'm hoping it's going to be okay right here. I think it can get as tall as you want it, but I think you can trim it to keep it. I mean, it's a small tree. It's not like a big giant magnolia, but we'll see how it turns out. It's probably not planted in the right place. Over here I planted a bunch of stuff. This is Idia virginica. I got about 7 of these here. Purple coneflower. Right there. I can't remember. I think that's giant ironweed. I can't remember exactly what that is. We'll see when the flowers come out. Idia virginica. Also known as, I think, sweetspire. I don't know what sometimes I don't know the botanical name. That's interesting. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that before. I'll have to find out what that is. But I just want to give you a good morning overall view of how the progress is going. It looks like a jungle, but I haven't had any complaints from the neighbors yet. They're kind of excited, I think, to see native flowers, and people are starting to catch on. I planted some yarrow because I hear it spreads fast, and this area is really hard to keep grass on. As you can see, it's a pretty steep hill, so we can't mow it. So we got some challenges here, but we're working on them. Here's another Idia virginica. Leaves are coming out. This is a Ben Franklin tree. We'll see how it works out. I just planted that last fall. It's beautiful, I think. Or did I plant it in the spring? Can't remember. Idia virginica. I'm hoping this is going to make like a hedge for the walkway here. The Idia virginicas, or the sweet spires. Triple vine. Idia virginica. Yeah, I've got some, I've got these cedar trees popping up. I don't know what to do with them. I really don't want them this close to my service berries because my understanding is if they get that rust disease, it'll change the flavor of the berries. Here's another service berry that I planted. I need a third one, I think. I thought I had planted a third one, but I don't know if it lived. I know I had a third one, but I don't know what happened to it. This is a flower. I forget what kind. I think it's a yellow cone flower. There's 3 of them here. 1, 2, 3. I think that's purple coneflower. Purple coneflower. 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 So this hill is very challenging. So I've been working on it for a couple of years, trying to figure out. Oh, that's aster. Aster. There should be another aster. I usually planted those in 3s. Well, that may be the aster. So let's keep going. Don't have a lot of time. Got to get back to work. I planted 3 dogwoods here. 1 there. Let's see. 1 there. 1 here. And 1 there. It's a box elder, which I'll probably cut out. This is some kind of Kentucky bluegrass, which I can't figure out how to get rid of. It probably came down from somebody's yard who planted grass. I'm hoping I can find some kind of way to get rid of it without hurting other plants. This is a cherry tree, which I will probably let grow. Cherry trees, they have they're the second most valuable, aren't they the second? Between them and the willow trees are the second most valuable trees behind the oak tree for wildlife. They feed more Lepidoptera, which is basically caterpillars and moths. And so when you get caterpillars and moths, you're going to get birds. If you like birds, you want to plant native because our birds, most of them, are from America, and they like American trees and plants. So I try to plant all American if I can. You know, you can't, I guess it's impossible to 100% be native, but I'm going for, let's say 80-30. I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense. 70-30. This right here looks like some kind of hickory tree. So we'll hold on to that for now. This is a St. John's wort bush. This is a viburnum. This right here, I've been taking pieces off of this and sticking them in the ground, live staking it. This is a 9-bark oak leaf hydrangea. That's a beautyberry. I planted like 6 of them, and this is the only one that's really doing well. I'm not sure what this is yet. I planted it and don't know. Got some hollies here. The inkberry hollies, and then there's an American holly somewhere right there. And 4 inkberry hollies. I can't remember. Yeah, that's a female American holly, so now I need a male because they're dioecious. So we're walking towards the house now. This is some kind of hickory tree. It's an oak tree. Let's head on over here. We gotta start heading towards the door. This is clustered mountain mint. So it's native, yes, it can be rambunctious, but I just keep it away from the things I don't want it around. I think this is a Carolina buckthorn, but I still haven't been exposed to non-native buckthorn, so I'm trying to figure that part out. I've got some aster here, an aster there. I'm trying to keep this mint away from it. And here is one of my favorites. This is Jack in the Pulpit. So let's see how many jacks they got. Here's a jack. There's a jack. It's three jacks right here. There's a jack. Let's see what else we got in here. It's a healthy looking specimen of Jack in the Pulpit, wouldn't you say? I see 3 jacks, but this isn't my biggest patch. This is just the one we're at. I've got, I don't know, 10 patches on this lot. This aster's not looking too good. I don't know, tell me what you think. Should I dig up all the Jack in the Pulpit and put them all in one place, or should I just let nature take its course? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Oh, this right here is a sugarberry. Also known, well, it's either a hackberry or sugarberry. I think they're closely related. But it's also called a Texas trash tree because they grow everywhere. They're not particular. And so, over here we've got some ginger and some alum root and some trillium and some sweet william, which I've been kind of pulling out. There's a blue-eyed Mary grass over there. I forget what's over here. I think it's bee balm. And over there is coneflower. Oh, and this is one of my favorite. This right here is a rusty blackheart. It's a viburnum. And it makes, the birds love this viburnum. The birds love it. Let's see. I can show you a flower. These flowers, they're small right now. They get super white and big. And I've got, gosh, half a dozen of these along the lot there. Here in a little while, they'll start blooming beautifully. Ginger, alum root. I gotta fill these gaps with something so I don't get weeds. Trillium, but I'm hoping the natives will just take over. You know, so we cut out all the bad stuff and we left all the natives. And some of the stuff I did not plant, some of it was already here, like that ginger. I didn't plant the ginger. That's a beautiful patch of ginger. That's a wild lettuce. It's native, so I leave it. That's some kind of ash tree. I'm probably gonna have to cut it out. That's sweet william. It's about to bloom. That's columbine. Oh, let's see. I planted 2 beauty berries here. I'm waiting to see. I think they died. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping they didn't die. I trimmed them back with hopes that they'll bounce back, but we'll see. This is the blue-eyed Mary grass. It should start blooming soon. Oh, this is one of my favorite little grasses. I don't know what it's called, but it's native. When the sun hits it, it's so beautiful. I'll try to get a video of it. This is, right here is crossvine. Goes all the way up the tree. When it gets high enough, it makes beautiful flowers that the butterflies love. I planted a variety of flowers here. I don't remember exactly what. This is yellow root. My understanding is Corps of Engineers uses it to prevent for flash flooding to prevent erosion. So I'm trying it. This is a dogwood. I don't know if we planted it. We did plant some dogwoods, but I didn't think they lived. But this is a dogwood. We're gonna keep that one. These trees are probably gonna have to come down because we had a tree fall on the house last summer and we don't want any more trees on the house. This is a small version of the rusty buckeye, the one with the flowers I just showed you. I let them grow. I love them. The birds love them. Okay, here we have American beautyberry. Now, I may have planted this in the wrong place, I don't know. But pretty soon these blooms are gonna look like, little flat pieces of cardboard. And it makes this really pretty fruit that looks like a strawberry coming out of a shell. Let's see if you can see this. They're not quite fully bloomed yet as far as their little flower goes. I think the fruit comes out in the fall. Not sure. That's a cherry tree up there. Let's walk towards the door because I got to get inside and get to work. So I stuck, this doesn't look the best, but I have a bird feeder right outside the window there so I can watch birds. And the cats, unfortunately, come outside. So I put a gate around it and I stuck a bunch of stems and stuff in there so the birds can get in and the cats can't get in. So hopefully it gives them a little sanctuary. I'm getting rid of a couple of cats, I think. I think this is fox beard tongue. I'm not sure, but it's pretty. I love it. It's gonna bloom soon. And here's a dogwood we planted, I think. Or maybe it was already here. I don't know. It's hard for me to keep up with some of it. And behind it is, it's either aster or goldenrod. I planted two. I should have planted three, but I planted two flame azaleas. They have been here 2 years and they do not look great. So we'll see what we got to do with that. This is this was planted in the wrong place, river oats. My understanding is this catches on like fire, but it'll be a good soil erosion. This is gray sedge. I love this. This makes like a flower that looks like a spiked ball. And then there's some drop seed there. And gray sedge, golden ragwort, aster, native phlox. There's a cardinal flower back there, but I planted it in the wrong place. It doesn't get enough sun. Right plant, right place. Got two regular anise, one Florida anise, and back there in the back you might not be able to see it, but there's a azalea that's starting to bloom. Christmas ferns everywhere, trilliums, ginger, redbuds, poppy, Jacob's ladder, foam flower, pawpaw trees. There's about 200 pawpaw trees here. Some phlox, Christmas fern. Oh, there's some Song of Solomon up there by that tree where the birdhouse is. Oh, I have two hazelnut trees that are doing wonderfully here. There's one. I don't know if you can see it or not. One hazelnut tree, two hazelnut trees. One more thing and then I gotta go in. That big golden grass standing, I think that's either, I'm hoping it's big blue stem, but I don't know. But I think it's native. You better not be eating no birds, you little murderer. Oh, I'm so excited about this. This is Fertigilia. I call it father-in-law, but it's Fertigilia. It blooms before the leaves come out. Oh my goodness, the azalea, the pinkster bloom azalea is blooming. Yay! I just planted this thing just in the spring. I mean, in the late winter. That's a maple leaf viburnum. It's coming back to life. And over here is one of my prizes. Native honeysuckle. Native vine honeysuckle. Look at these blooms. The hummingbirds love these. Let's see if I can find one that's got, there's an open one right there. This, if I can figure out how to get this thing up on a trellis and an arch, I'm gonna do it. And right there is creeping fox. And we have triple vine trying to come out everywhere here. I'm trying to keep it away from the house because it can be pretty destructive. So I gotta figure out how to get this stuff on the trellis. Got any ideas? Please feel free to comment. I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to hearing from you and getting your comments and feedback and critique. And I'll be back with more later. It's really starting. I know it doesn't look like much now, but I suspect in a year or two, it's gonna be pretty. I'll keep you posted. Thank you so much.